Good evening, friends. Hi, I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and I'm here with the astrology of the week. So, this is a big week. I want to ask you, first of all, how did you fare with the full moon lunar eclipse? Were you able to let go of things in your life that no longer suits you, that no longer serves you, perhaps attitudes, perhaps habits, ideas, because that's what an eclipse is all about. When the south node or tail of the transiting eclipse is being activated. So I don't know about you, but I've been getting a lot of calls from clients and friends too, like what the heck is going on? It just feels like there's this colossal reshuffling of the deck, so to speak. Well, we have some exciting news for you because astrology is such a mirror and we have so many exciting events happening in one short week. This upcoming week, we are doing our last quarter cycle, and I'm going to be focusing on that tonight. But we also, in a matter of hours, depending on where you fall on the planet, we're going to have not fall, but spring. Spring is going to be springing into aliveness. And if you're tuning in from Western New York, you know it was a pivotal day because we reached a record temperature. I think it was 70 degrees. Jerry's exhausted. Good evening. Hi, Jan. Hi, Joan, Tracy, Marianne. It has been easy, especially if I happen to know your chart, Marianne, right, with your Virgo energy. Hi, Jerry. So feel free to share. Thanks for coming in from Myrtle Beach, Tracy. And good morning, Linnell. Nice to see you. A lot of people reporting exhaustion. Again, there's that vibration of needing and wanting to perfect ourselves and focus to the what's called the North Node promise of Pisces. So embracing the Pisces, which is very transcendent and ethereal and spiritual and not always connected with the real world, but mirroring that and blending that with grounded can-do attitudes. And that's with the what a full moon is all about, but especially an eclipse. And so a lot is happening. A lot will be happening. Just I'm telling myself and anyone who asks, my clients primarily, that when we keep a very strong grounding with our imagination, our intuition, our connection with spirit, however you might define that, that's really critical between now and July of 2026 as the nodes are moving through Pisces and Virgo. And the other critical thing would be to watch your mindfulness and your rumination and your fear, which is the Virgo part that we're eliminating. Listen, I'm really excited about some offerings. Always check out the Cosmic Intelligence Agency for there are free videos and free articles, and sometimes we also have special events. So next week, I'm going to be presenting an overview of what to expect for the next 14 years. Yes, you heard that right, 14 years. The first tiptoe of Neptune moving into the sign of Aries will be taking place on the 30th of this month, friends. We haven't seen that ingress since hours after the American Civil War. So it truly is a big deal. And it's even a bigger deal because on February 20th of 2026, Neptune and Saturn couldn't be more different energies. Saturn is reality, Neptune is thought forms behind reality. It's about transcendence. It's like spirit and materialism join forces like they do every 36 years, but they're joining forces at the 0 point. The 0 point. In astrology, we love the 0 point because we're celebrating that tomorrow, spring equinox, otherwise known as International Astrology's Day, because it's the time we start our journey using the solar mysteries. And that happens every spring equinox. So we have a lot to cover tonight. And I think some of the perhaps tiredness that people are reporting here in the chat is reflective of the Virgo Pisces polarity or blending. Look at your chart. Where do you have Virgo? Where do you have Pisces? And how are you trying to balance the idea of imagination, spirit with practical, down to earth can-doism, which is reflected by Virgo. Hi, Karen. Hi, Tracy. All right. Hi, Amanda, Angela. Hello there, Patricia. Great to see you. Marissa, nice to see you as well. Hey, Chuck, Angela. All right. Hi, Jean. Hi, Joanne, Candy, Donna. Lovely to see many of you. Many of you came to my retreat workshop on Friday, so I appreciate you being with me during the eclipse. And I hope your week has been unfolding beautifully. So I left the link for you to join me and Julia of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency next week on Wednesday, and that's 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be doing a very long PowerPoint that I've worked on for a number of weeks on Neptune doing its ingress into the sign of Aries. So this is like a sneak preview in some ways for the next couple of days, which I'll get to in just a moment. I hope you join us because it's going to be a wonderful presentation to kind of get yourself thinking and preparing literally for the next 14 years. All right, let's see, let's add this to the stage. And so, but first things first, we have our spring equinox. If you are using Eastern Daylight Time, spring comes to our awareness at 5:01 in the morning, and that is on Thursday, spring equinox. And keeping this in mind, when I use the Sabian symbols, I like to remind you to don't think of them as a standalone message. You can really find patterns between them in such a way. So the four corners of the solar year, we have the spring equinox, we have the summer solstice, fall equinox, and then the winter solstice. Those form a perfect square. We call that the cardinal square. It's 0 degrees. It's kind of like the foundation of our astrological and therefore human journey each year. And so every equinox, we have this beautiful image of, oh, I have the wrong slide up here. I'm telling you, I've been having, here it is. The image of the woman rising from the ocean embraces the seal. And that is suggestive of form creation. Form creation. It's 0 degrees of our Aries at all time. And this particular slide is, okay, let's see, we can see it's kind of small. But actually, I have that as the full moon lunar eclipse. I'm telling you, I've had more issues with my computer. Blame it on the computer. Blame it on Mercury retrograde. Go ahead, Cassandra. But you know what? Maybe we just won't use the slides, and I'll just talk. But I will just talk to you right now. So the actual spring equinox is at 0 degrees. So Pluto is going to be trining that particular degree. It's kind of like a forecasting of the entire year. So it's a transformative year, Pluto's transformation. And it's sextiling the configuration of the Aries energy. So welcome spring with welcome arms, and think about ways that you can embody the blending of human with the natural world, with the Sabian symbol of the seal and the female. And then we have a very exciting week, because right after we have the first of spring, we move into a very significant event on the same day that we have our quarter cycle. Let's see if I can get the quarter cycle here. Here's the quarter cycle. And I'm going to say, yep, okay, perfect. So we don't have the chart for the spring equinox. The quarter cycle is when the moon and the sun are creating a 90-degree angle. And the message to all of us is to rebuild, edit, and ground. And the symbol itself, the Sabian symbol, reflects that. It's the human soul wanting experience through the eyes of the human, seeks embodiment as a human. And this particular moon at 2 degrees of Capricorn is also squaring Venus and Mercury, which are both retrograde, and they're both in Aries. So our lesson is this week, our drive is to make sense of the past 3 weeks by taking action and perhaps grounding a project, really deciding this is the time I'm going to complete X, Y, or Z in my life, whatever that might be. And it might be unconsciously something that you set out wanting to do back on the 27th of February at the new cycle. So that's on Saturday. It peaks at 7:29 in the morning. And then later that day, we have a very big event, which I really want to direct your attention to the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, because they have so much wonderful information on Venus Star Point. In essence, Venus Star Point is a juncture during a journey of Venus. When Venus goes retrograde, when she orbits the sun and she goes direct, when she's a day star, a night star, and all of the junctions along the path are significant, especially when Venus connects directly with the sun itself. It's called the Venus Star Point because, of course, our sun is a star. It's illuminating what? Love, money, abundance, self-worth, value, the things that make life juicy. That's what Venus is all about. So the Venus Star Point is on the same day as our quarter cycle. It's at 9:07 p.m. And this represents the participation in a greater life. The symbol is a cameo of a man that resembles the outline of his country. How are you participating in the greater community? And whether that be your family, your job, your community, or indeed your country. So that is our Venus Star Point right after the equinox and the same day as our quarter cycle. And then we gear up, friends, and next week I'll be talking a bit about it, the solar eclipse. And we know some of the characteristics of an eclipse includes anything and everything might happen, because the eclipse has this volatility about it. It's unpredictable in many ways. But this is the eclipse, I call it the integrative eclipse of all of the storylines and narratives that we're working on last year, when the eclipses were primarily in Aries and in Libra, and the dance of relationship, the I-thou relationship, the polarized thinking between good and evil, actually. So we're going to have some integrating of our soul and our consciousness on the solar eclipse. So look forward to that on the 29th. And then right after that, we have that beautiful ingress of Neptune in the sign of Aries, which will be with us on and off again, because it does do a retrograde back into Pisces for 14 years. And that's extremely significant. All right. So I'm so glad you're here. And I'm sorry if there's a little lag in my video. Again, I'm having some technical difficulties, but I just want to say hi to folks. Oh, you're a 2-degree Aries sun. Linnell, the Venus Star Point, as you know, would be extremely significant for you. And the 24-degree North Node, you had your nodal return. this year. So you're getting on your path. So thank you for that information. And I can easily make some comments to you, Miss Linnell. Hi, Trisha. Hi, Gina. Hi, Terry. Yes, that is awesome. Fabulous. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Diane. Hi, Jennifer. Hello. Hi, Kathy D, Devin, Elaine. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Chris. Hi, Anne Marie. All right, dear friends, we're going to do some spiritual work. And again, apologies for some of the technical glitches. Let's just blame Mercury on everything, even when Mercury's not retrograde. But, all kidding aside, use this time of these retrogrades in Aries and Venus and Mercury congruent here to reflect on your own sense of self. At the same time, with the full moon we just had, we're in that phase still, to let go of a lot of self-judgment and self-criticism. I think that's the best use of this energy. Even though I want to beat myself up with some of the glitches, I have to remind myself of what I'm saying to you or what I'm sharing with you. So we're going to shift gears, and I'm going to do one more little bit of information for you. This weekend, I will be at the Grapevine restaurant at a psychic gathering. I'll be doing some talks. I'll be doing some lecturing, and I hope to see you there. And John Shred's wonderful gathering, and that takes place all day on Saturday and Sunday. And I'll be talking without the glitch. So if you're wanting some wonderful things to do, please come out to the fair. And then on Sunday evening at 6:15, we have Divine Grace Fellowship. And guess what we're talking about? Aries energy. So that's open to everyone. And it is my service to you. It is a worship service about activating our own special gifts through astrology. All right. So this particular week, like I said, is a rebuilding week for Aries. They're rebuilding their career. They're rebuilding their reputation. They're taking their leadership qualities very, very personally. For Taurus, the rebuild has to do with identifying their particular truth, communicating it, perhaps doing some marketing. For Gemini or Gemini rising, it's about ensuring long-term financial security, perhaps going through your budget, getting down debt, anything along these lines. For Cancer or Cancer rising, because our moon is at 2 degrees of Capricorn with this particular lunation, it's involving your partner's Cancer. How are you treating your significant other? How are you being a very good partner to the people you love? For Leo or Leo rising, this is a great week to specialize in doing a routine that's going to make you healthier, whether that means with diet or nutrition or sleeping more effectively and more soundly. For Virgo or Virgo Pisces, this energy is activating your playful side, your creative side, spending time with kids, allowing the little inner child to come out and play. For Libras, this is about your home and family this upcoming week, perhaps doing a deep clean, a deep spring clean, or connecting with relatives. For Scorpio, activate what you want to say and how you want to say it. Make a new relationship with your relationship with time management, making things happen in your life. Work on that, rebuild that. For our Sagittarius friends, this particular lunation is extremely well placed for you to identify your self-worth and your sense of self-love, and perhaps turning that into an income improvement, creating more abundance in your life, an income flow, as it were. All eyes are on the Capricorn or Capricorn rising. It's a very good week to step into your own authority. For Aquarius, you might be a little bit more tired than normal. It's okay. Just rest or meditate, pray, get away from the maddening crowd. And our Pisces friends, this lunation is asking you to reconnect with friends, to be a little bit more social, and to have some fun, to have some play. All right. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the kind comment. Hi, Gail. Great to see you. Hi, Becky. Hello. Nice to see you. I was just thinking about you, Becky. You just popped into my sparkly mind. I was thinking about sparkle with you, dear. Hi, Elaine. And of course, Chris is at Aries, and all you beautiful Aries out there like Chris. Watch how Venus and Mercury might actually get you nostalgic for things that have gone by. That's the other thing. Your mind might find yourself looking into the past wherever you find Aries, but particularly if you're at Aries. All right, let's just do some spiritual work and say my prayer. And how this works, if you're new, I just close my eyes and let my thumb do the walking in the chat. And I pick two folks. Dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words to be filled with love and light and truth, inspiration and healing for the highest and best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. I'm with Ethel Price. Hello, Ethel. I would love to give you a reading. And I think you're new to Cosmic Connections, or at least I don't recognize your name offhand. But as I'm tuning into you, Ethel, the first thing that comes to mind is working, this could be symbolic, working on strengthening the legs, whether you are doing more walking or leg lifts or strengthening the legs, anything from PT to walking. That's the first thing that's coming into my mind. The other thing is I'm seeing that you personally have been like a little squirrel in taking a lot of books and a lot of new like videos and information and learning things about astrology and about spirit and about perhaps about divination. I'm feeling that you're on a new, relatively new tack, perhaps in the past 3 years or so, but you have like a little area in your home where you keep your precious books and you delight in learning something new. And Spirit is suggesting to me this: don't give up, be patient with yourself, and please use a lot of discernment. Just because it's written doesn't mean it's always correct. Just because you hear it on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever doesn't mean it's always accurate. So don't ignore your own refined sense of scholarly discernment is what I'm getting. And I also get a lot of not just learning, but teaching. I don't know if you are a teacher, Ethel, I have no idea, but I see that you do a lot of sharing, perhaps consulting with others. And as I tune into your energy, I use the aspects coming up. Wherever you find Cancer in your chart, there's going to be some fabulous breakthroughs. Now, we know that Jupiter goes into the sign of Cancer on June 9th of this year. So please identify where you find Cancer in your chart. And there's going to be some beautiful progression in your life and some trips as well, some travel and some new learning. So I'll leave that with you, Ethel, and I thank you for joining tonight. Okay. All right. I'm with Christine Rimback now. Hello, Christine. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm going to tap into your energy. And the first thing that comes to mind is dancing, music, and celebration. I don't know if you're planning such an event for someone in your family, or I feel that I want to say that's a yes, that you might be looking to this summer as an opportunity for maybe there's a big birthday with one of your loved ones, that you're planning the celebration of just life. It's like a birthday or an anniversary situation that you have the responsibility to kind of pull everything together. And it's going to be great. It feels that you have gone through a lot of changes in the past 6 months of a letting go of, I want to use the word indecision and trepidation, or maybe fear, that you're actually a lot more conscious about when you make a decision and you follow through with that decision, you're not second guessing yourself. And this seems to be something you've worked on, but it's also seems to be, I call it a divine grace through your chart, that something has happened that makes you more solid in your ability to just make decisions and not caring what other people may think or may analyze about those decisions. Because I want to say about 6 months ago, you made an important decision and there's no turning back, and it's a good one, and it's going to help you become a lot lighter in your everyday life. And it's also going to help you feel more enjoyment. It's not necessarily an easy decision or makes your life easier. If we define easier as putting your feet up and eating bonbons all day, I'm not talking like that. I'm talking that the way is clear for you to move forward on some goal that you've been working on for quite some time. I'm also going to name Joey with you. It feels this is someone in spirit. I think he was known as Joey, not Joseph or Joe. And he's coming in to say, don't forget to laugh, because we can't take anything too seriously. And he's well, and he's very appreciative of what you did for him throughout your life. It wasn't just at the end of his life, that you were someone who was extraordinarily easy to be around, and you would joke and you would give him a lot of joy. So I'll leave that with many blessings to you. All right, friends. I hope to see you on Sunday. I hope to see you at Divine Grace. I do mediumistic messages on those Sunday gatherings, so please come by for that. It's at Amherst Community Church. Please, I invite you to come to our Neptune extravaganza, and that's next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m., right before our meeting here at Cosmic Connection. You'll learn a lot. Bring your charts. I really want to help people navigate the Neptunian waters, which can be, like any planet, somewhat difficult, sometimes cloudy, sometimes foggy, but there's great potential in reworking our lives for the next many years, especially when Neptune connects with Saturn. And that's next February. We get a sneak preview in August, the first 2 weeks in August of this year. So thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Blessings. Great to see you all. Have a great week. Happy birthday, Dana. Hi, John. Hi, Rhonda. Our beautiful Pisces friends. Happy birthday to all you Pisces, because we turn into Aries in just a few short hours. All right, at least Eastern time. We become embracing the new year of astrology, 0 point of Aries. Many blessings, friends. See you next week.